I sit across from my lawyer, signing document after document. The soft click of the pen is the only sound in the room, a stark contrast to the chaos unfolding outside. On the other side of the world, my husband is raising a glass, celebrating what he believes is the beginning of a new chapter. He has no idea that the page he's turning is the end of his story, and everything he holds dear will soon crumble under the weight of his own lies. James, with his freshly updated relationship status on Facebook, thinks he's finally free. His post is a blur of hashtags. Hashtag living my best life, hashtag blessed, hashtag new chapter. The photo shows him and Sarah, the woman he's been seeing behind my back, at Maison Lauren, the same restaurant where he proposed to me nearly a decade ago. He's smiling, wearing the Rolex I gave him on our 10th anniversary. The irony isn't lost on me. As he celebrates with champagne, I'm sitting here, signing papers that will have him sleeping in his car by Monday. His precious Tesla, the one he swears he paid for, will be repossessed, and he'll be left with nothing. But he doesn't know that I paid for it, just like I paid for every little thing he'll lose in the coming days. Every penny he thought he was hiding, every lie he thought would never come to light, will soon be exposed. Are you sure about this timing, Mrs. Wilson? Linda, my lawyer, watches me with a mix of admiration and concern, her eyes scanning the room as if to gauge the gravity of my decision. I glance up at her, a small smile playing on my lips. Perfect timing, I say, tapping my phone. The screen lights up with James's latest post. He's basking in the glow of his new relationship, oblivious to the storm that's about to hit. The moment I sign this last document, his world will fall apart. It's almost poetic, the way everything is falling into place, how all his decisions are aligning perfectly with mine. I'm not just reacting to his betrayal. I'm orchestrating his downfall piece by piece. I turn my phone toward Linda to show her James's post, my fingers typing a quick message in response to his text. Hey beautiful, don't wait up tonight. Big client meeting running late. Love you. A text that mirrors the thousands of others I've saved over the last 6 months, each one timestamped and cross-referenced with credit card charges for hotel stays, expensive dinners and gifts, purchases he thought were carefully hidden. My phone buzzes again, this time an Instagram story from Sarah. A photo of her arm adorned with a new Cartier bracelet, tagged with the caption, "From my love." The timing is impeccable and I screenshot it, adding it to my growing collection of evidence. The same collection that will soon bring his empire crashing down. James doesn't realize it, but I've known for months. Every late night, every business trip, every suspicious charge. It's all been documented, meticulously cataloged, and filed away for the perfect moment. I didn't confront him, though. I didn't throw his clothes out onto the lawn or make a scene. Instead, I did what I do best. I followed the money. I reach for my pen again, signing another document with a flourish. Linda's voice pulls me back to the present. This one will freeze all your joint accounts and trigger an automatic audit, she says, sliding the final document toward me. Once you sign, there's no going back. I glance down at the page, my mind briefly drifting back to this morning. James kissed me on the cheek before he left for work, promising we'd plan that trip to Bali soon. He has no idea that I've already seen the Bali reservations he made, not for us, but for him and Sarah, at the same resort where we spent our honeymoon. Good, I say, my voice steady. That's exactly what I want. I pause for a moment, the weight of the decision sinking in. My phone buzzes again, a new notification lighting up the screen. It's another Instagram story from Sarah, flaunting her new purchases. A new dress, a new watch, all gifts from James. All charged to our joint account, the one James thought I never checked. The forensic team will start their investigation on Monday. Linda's eyes are still on me, but I'm already thinking ahead. My plan is in motion, and nothing can stop it now. Not even James's blind confidence. As I move through the final stack of papers, the weight of what I'm about to do feels almost surreal. The legal documents are thick, but nothing compared to the burden I've carried for months. 15 years of marriage, of being his perfect wife, his arm candy, the dutiful woman who smiled through his late nights and spontaneous business trips. I thought I was living a fairy tale. But then the cracks started to show. Little things. A missed phone call here, an unexplained expense there. And once I started looking, the truth was undeniable. I wasn't always just a pretty face. Before I was Mrs. Wilson, I was the youngest partner at Morton Financial. A name James used to brag about to his friends, but one he seemed to forget when he was secretly setting up offshore accounts and funneling money into fake consulting firms. I know what you're thinking, and no, I didn't confront him. I didn't fall into the trap of being the angry wife. I didn't scream or demand answers. Instead, I quietly documented everything. Every text, every email, every financial transaction. While James thought he was smart, I was watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. I glance over at Linda, my lawyer. She's watching me. Her eyes a mixture of admiration and wariness. "Are you sure about this timing, Mrs. Wilson?" she asks, her voice soft but tinged with concern. She's seen the damage done by cheating husbands before, but she's never seen someone so calm, so methodical. I turn my phone toward her, showing James's latest Facebook post. The timestamp reads just minutes ago. "Living my best life with my soulmate. Hashtag new chapter. Hashtag blessed." The photo shows them at Maison Lauren, the same restaurant where James proposed to me years ago. I tap my screen, scrolling through the pictures of them laughing, looking so happy together. James is even wearing the Rolex I gave him for our 10th anniversary. I can't help but smile, but it's a smile tinged with something darker, something much colder than what anyone would expect from a betrayed wife. Linda shifts uncomfortably, her gaze lingering on the picture. "The timing," she begins. "Perfect?" I cut her off, signing yet another document without a hint of hesitation. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Not just the moment I take everything he thinks is his, but the moment I finally stop playing the role of the dutiful wife and start living life on my terms. Another text from James pings on my phone. I glance at it quickly. "Hey beautiful, don't wait up tonight. Big client meeting running late. Love you." I've saved every single one of these texts. It's like a clock ticking down to the inevitable. Every word, every phrase was part of the plan, carefully orchestrated over months. But this one is different. I can't help but laugh to myself as I swipe to the next screen, pulling up the charges on our joint credit card. A weekend stay at a hotel in the city. Dinner at an upscale restaurant. Another purchase of jewelry, a pair of diamond earrings this time. The receipts all line up, each matching perfectly with Sarah's Instagram posts. She's flaunting the gifts from her new lover, the one she's been seeing behind my back for months. I didn't miss anything, not a single detail. And now I'm ready to strike. Before I share what happened next, the moment that made James's world fall apart and left an entire room of journalists in stunned silence. I want to connect with you, my amazing viewers. Where are you watching from? Drop your country's flag in the comments below. And if you've ever had to fight for something you believe in, hit that like button, because this story is just getting started. The phone buzzes again. This time it's an Instagram story from Sarah, showing off the new Cartier bracelet James bought her. From my love, the caption reads, "The timing couldn't be more perfect." I screenshot it, adding it to the growing pile of evidence I've collected over the months. Every piece, every transaction, every text, is a thread in the web I've carefully woven around James. He thought I didn't notice. He thought he could get away with it. But I've been watching, waiting. I look at Linda again, my fingers poised over the pen. "This one will freeze everything," she says, sliding the final document across the desk. "The joint accounts, the properties, everything. And once we file, it triggers an investigation. It'll be over before he even knows what hit him." I nod, my hands steady as I sign the document. Each signature is a victory. It's the final step in a journey that's taken years of patience, of watching, of learning every hidden move. And now it's finally time to make my move. As I finish, my phone buzzes once again. Another Instagram post, this time from James, celebrating their new adventure. He's so proud of what he's built, oblivious to the fact that it's all about to come crashing down. I lean back in my chair, taking a moment to savor the calm before the storm. Because once I hit send, once these papers are filed, there's no going back. James won't just lose me, he'll lose everything. And he'll have no one to blame but himself. The quiet hum of the office is all I hear as I pull out the folder marked Final Move. The edges are worn from months of use, each piece of paper inside carefully organized, each document a puzzle piece in the grand design I've been building. There's a certain satisfaction in knowing that every move has been planned to perfection. James still thinks he's in control, still thinks he's the one calling the shots, but what he doesn't realize is that I've already beaten him at his own game. The storm is about to hit, and when it does, nothing will be left standing. I glance over at Linda, who's busily arranging the papers I've prepared for the final phase of this operation. She's been with me since the beginning, watching as I methodically uncovered every lie, every betrayal. Now, as I finalize everything, her face shows a mixture of respect and awe. She's seen it all before. Husbands who think they can get away with anything, wives who fight back. But she's never seen anyone do it quite like I have. Everything is in place, she says, looking up from the papers. Once we file, it's over. James won't even know what hit him. I nod, my eyes drifting back to the documents. The feeling of finality hangs in the air like a cloud ready to burst. I've been patient. I've waited. But now it's time to make sure he understands the full extent of his actions. I pull my phone from my bag, scrolling through the messages James has sent me over the last few months. Big client meeting running late. Love you. Sorry, babe. I'll be out of town for a few days. Huge project. All the while, he's been out with Sarah, living his new life, buying her gifts with money he's stolen from his company. From me. I look at the photos he's posted, the happy, carefree images of him and Sarah, and I feel a strange sense of detachment. It's as if I'm looking at a stranger, someone I no longer recognize. This man, the one I've shared my life with, is no longer the person I thought he was. He's a shadow, a ghost of who he used to be, and yet here I am, standing on the precipice, ready to end it all. I tap my phone and pull up the latest evidence. Photos, receipts, text messages, everything I've gathered over the months. It's a mountain of proof, each piece perfectly aligned. The forensic team will have no trouble following the trail I've left for them. But it's not just about the money. It's about revenge. It's about showing James that he never stood a chance against me. Are you sure you're ready for this? Linda asks, breaking my thoughts. Her voice is soft, but there's an edge to it. She knows how far this will go. I look at her, my expression unwavering. I've been ready for a long time. There's no hesitation in my voice, no doubt. I've thought of every possible scenario, and I'm prepared for all of them. The divorce papers are ready. The audits will be triggered. The forensic accountants are on standby. In just a few hours, James's life as he knows it will be shattered. The house, the cars, the business. Everything he thought he owned will slip through his fingers like sand. But it's not just the material things that will be taken from him. It's his dignity, his pride, his image. All of it will be gone, and I'll be there to watch it happen. He will have no one to blame but himself. I stand up, moving toward the desk where I've laid out the final documents. The time is almost here. The calm before the storm is always the hardest part. The waiting, the uncertainty, the question of whether you've truly thought of everything. But as I pick up the pen and prepare to sign the final document, I know that I have. I've thought of everything, planned for every contingency, and now there's nothing left to do but watch the pieces fall into place. This is it. The moment when everything changes. The moment when I finally take control of my life again. I sign the paper with a steady hand, and just like that, the storm begins to form. But unlike James, who has no idea what's coming, I'm ready for it. I've prepared. And when the winds of change blow through his world, I'll be the one standing tall, the one who rebuilt her life from the ground up. The anticipation is almost palpable, and I feel a sense of calm settle over me as I finish the last signature. The next few days will be chaotic, of course. James will fight back. He'll scramble. He'll try to claim what's his, to salvage whatever he can. But it won't matter. It's too late. The storm is coming, and he'll never see it coming. Before this all begins to unfold, I want to take a moment to thank you for being a part of this journey. If you're enjoying these stories of empowerment and resilience, make sure to subscribe. It's free, and it helps us grow this incredible community of strong, determined individuals. Now, let's dive deeper into what happens when everything James thought was secure crumbles in an instant. It starts with a text. Just a simple message, a request for more time, one that feels almost trivial compared to the seismic shift happening in my life. I can't make it home tonight, babe. Huge client meeting. Don't wait up. I read it twice, as if trying to find some hint of what's coming. But I know. I've known for months. As I sit there, waiting for the storm to begin, the world outside seems calm. The house is quiet. James is out there, still playing his part, still fooling himself into thinking he's getting away with it. He doesn't know that every single one of his moves has been tracked, every one of his lies documented. He doesn't know that the moment he steps into his office tomorrow, his world will fall apart, piece by piece. The text was just the beginning. The phone calls start soon after, one after another, urgent, panicked. I'm not there to hear his voice, but I know what's happening. I can feel it in my bones. His empire is crumbling around him, and he's beginning to realize that the ground beneath his feet isn't as solid as he thought. I watch the clock tick by, my heart steady, my hands still. Each call he makes is another thread unraveling. By the time he gets back, there will be nothing left for him to save. The truth will come out, in all its ugly glory, and he'll have no choice but to watch as it destroys everything he's built. The business, the house, the relationships, all of it. The first crack in his facade comes at 9:30 p.m., just after he leaves another voicemail. He's frantic, his voice thick with a desperation he's never shown before. Catherine, listen, we need to talk. I'm not sure what's going on, but I need you to be patient. Please, this will blow over. Just give me time. Time. The very thing he squandered, the very thing that has run out. I don't respond immediately. There's no need. The longer I wait, the more desperate he becomes. The more he starts to realize that his perfect world isn't just slipping away. It's disintegrating before his eyes, and he can't stop it. The calls grow more frequent. He's calling from his office now, his voice panicked, sounding more and more like the man I don't recognize. You don't understand. I need help. I don't know what's happening, but everything is falling apart. The accounts, they've been frozen. The words are like a punch to the gut, but I don't flinch. This is exactly what I've been waiting for. I glance at my phone again, seeing that his last text is a mirror of every lie he's told. Sorry, something urgent came up. I'm staying at the office tonight. Love you. I wonder if he believes it anymore, if he's lying to himself as much as he's lied to me. But I'm not the one who's going to make it right for him. I'm the one who's been quietly watching him destroy everything. It's all coming back to him now, the realization of how deeply he's buried himself in deceit. There's no way out. The walls are closing in, and no amount of last-minute excuses will save him. He tries again, this time leaving a message on my voicemail. It's different from the others, more frantic, almost pleading. Catherine, I don't know what you've done, but you need to stop. You're making a mistake. Please, I need you to trust me. We can fix this. I'll make it right. Fix it? I'm almost tempted to laugh. Fix what? His affair? His lies? His theft? How can you fix something that was broken from the start? He had his chance. He had years of chances. But he didn't think I was watching. He didn't think I'd ever catch on. I listened to his voice crack on the voicemail, his tone cracking under the pressure of his own guilt. It's almost sad, but not quite. He made his choices, and now he has to face the consequences. I delete the message without a second thought. The real turning point comes an hour later when his assistant calls. I can hear the panic in her voice. Catherine, I don't know what's going on. James is losing it. He's screaming at the finance team. He's freaking out about the audit and the frozen accounts. I don't know what to do. Her words are like music to my ears. I lean back in my chair, savoring the moment. This is what I've been working for, the slow unraveling of his world. He's finally realizing that all the secrets, all the lies, the hidden money, and the affairs have caught up with him. And there's nothing he can do about it. I let the phone ring a few more times, savoring the sound of his voice on the other end, the panic, the realization that everything is about to change. The clock ticks down. It's almost time. I think about what he said earlier. I'll make it right. He's going to try. He's going to beg. He's going to promise me the world. But it won't matter. The game is over. He's lost, and I'm the one holding the cards. Tomorrow, when he steps into his office, the full extent of his downfall will be waiting for him. And I'll be there to watch it happen. The next morning, the world feels different. Quieter, sharper, more focused. The calm after the storm is not a lull, but the quiet hum of everything falling into place. As I sip my coffee, I can almost hear the distant sound of James's empire crumbling. I know he's still trying to hold onto his version of reality, still scrambling to fix what's beyond repair. But deep down, he must know. He has to know. The moment he steps into his office today, everything he's worked for will be gone. And there's nothing he can do about it. The first sign of the collapse comes with a simple notification. An email from the bank, alerting me to a massive transfer that's been blocked due to a flagged account. I glance at the details. Every single dollar, every hidden penny that James thought would be safe, is now exposed. The transfer he tried to make to one of his offshore accounts? Blocked. The credit card payment he made for Sarah's new designer dress? Denied. It's all falling apart, one charge at a time. I check my phone again, scrolling through more notifications. Another one from his assistant. Catherine, I don't know what's happening, but James is losing it. The audit is showing irregularities. The accounts are all frozen. What do? I smile to myself, savoring the sound of his world shattering through someone else's words. He thought he could hide it all. The offshore accounts, the fake consulting firm, the stolen money. He thought I was too naive to notice, too focused on being the perfect wife to ever suspect what he was really doing. But I saw it all. I knew what he was up to. I watched as he dug his own grave, and now the moment of truth has arrived. By the time the forensic team arrives, James is already in full-blown panic mode. I can hear the desperation in his voice over the phone, his attempts to make sense of everything unraveling around him. Catherine, you don't understand. This isn't how it looks. I can fix this. Just give me time. His words are frantic, a far cry from the confident, arrogant man he once was. He's begging now, and it feels almost too easy. But this is the moment I've been waiting for. I don't respond right away. There's no need. The more he scrambles, the more he digs himself into a hole. He knows what's coming, he can feel it. The inevitable collapse of everything he thought was his. The business, the house, the cars. The friends who once adored him now stand by, watching in disbelief as his lies are exposed for the world to see. The first domino falls when the audit reveals the missing funds, millions siphoned off through his fake consulting firm. The forensic team uncovers the web of deceit, every payment, every transfer, every fabricated invoice. They trace it all back to him, to Sarah, to the two of them, living in their little bubble of stolen money and lies. The news hits his company like a thunderclap. Investors start pulling their funds. Board members are scrambling to distance themselves from him, afraid of being tainted by his scandal. James is no longer the powerful CEO he thought he was. He's just a man running from the consequences of his own actions. I take a deep breath as I watch everything unfold. This is the part of the plan I've been waiting for, when James realizes that he's lost everything. He's tried to call me several times, his messages growing more desperate. Please, Catherine. I'm sorry. I'll make it right. Just let me fix this. But the truth is, there's nothing left to fix. His world has crumbled, and no amount of apologies can change that. The fallout continues to spread. The police arrive at his office, the SEC investigators hot on his trail. They're pulling up the documents, the emails, the transactions, everything he thought was secure, everything he thought would stay hidden. His mistress, Sarah, is quickly caught in the web too. Her consulting firm, which was supposed to be the perfect cover for their affair, is now under investigation. The truth is slowly coming to light, and there's nothing James can do to stop it. By the time he calls me again, his voice is barely audible, the panic in his tone almost unbearable. "Catherine, you have to help me. You're the only one who can fix this. Please. I never meant for any of this to happen." It's a plea, a cry for help. But it's too late. The man I married is gone, replaced by a desperate shell of someone who thought they were invincible. The consequences of his actions have arrived, and they're far more than he bargained for. I don't answer him. There's nothing left to say. I've spent years building my own future, and now it's time to watch him lose everything he thought he could take from me. I turn my phone off, the finality of the action sinking in. James's empire is no more. The life he built on lies and deceit has crumbled, and I'm standing here, watching the ruins of it all. And for the first time in a long time, I feel at peace. The morning light spills through the windows, casting long shadows across the room. But there's no peace here, no calm after the storm. Today is different. Today everything ends. I stand by the window, looking out over the city, feeling a sense of calm that only comes after years of waiting. James has no idea what's about to happen. He still believes he can fix things, still thinks that somehow he can salvage what's left of his world. But what he doesn't know is that this is the moment where everything he's built crumbles. And I'll be the one to watch it happen. My phone buzzes again, another desperate message from him. "Catherine, I don't know what you're doing, but I need you to stop. This is too much. The company is falling apart, and I'm losing everything. Please help me. You owe me this." His words are laced with panic, but they mean nothing to me now. He's already lost. He's been losing for months, and he didn't even see it coming. I take a deep breath, composing myself before responding. There's no need for anger or vengeance. The truth is enough. He's destroyed everything, not just with his affair, but with the lies he's built his life on. The money he thought was hidden, the family he thought would never find out, the empire he built with deceit and greed. All of it is coming to an end. I text back, my fingers moving swiftly over the screen. "It's too late for apologies, James. It's over. The company, the trust, the life you thought you were in control of. It's gone. And it's all because of you." As I send the message, I feel the weight of every moment that led to this. The late nights I spent tracing every transaction, every hidden account. The hours spent quietly watching him, learning his every move, documenting his every lie. It was never about revenge. It was about justice, about making sure that he couldn't keep living in this false reality, that he couldn't continue to manipulate everyone around him, including me. The phone rings. It's him. I let it go to voicemail. I glance at the clock. In exactly 1 hour, the next phase of the plan will be set in motion. The forensic team will finish their investigation. The board will vote to remove him from his position. And when he walks into his office today, he'll be escorted out by security. There will be no salvaging it. No amount of pleading will change what's coming. I sit back in my chair, feeling the rush of satisfaction that comes with knowing I've won. He's about to face the consequences of his actions, and I'm the one who's going to make sure he doesn't walk away with anything. Not the company, not the assets, and certainly not the woman he thought he could keep in the dark. The call comes again. This time I answer. "Catherine, please." His voice is hoarse, desperate. "You don't understand. You're making a huge mistake. I'm sorry. I'll make it right. I swear I will. Just give me a chance." I can hear the desperation in his voice, but it doesn't move me. He's been asking for chances for years. Chances he never deserved. Chances he never took. He had his chance, and now it's over. "You've already made your choices, James," I say, my voice steady, almost cold. "And now you'll have to live with them. The company is under investigation, your assets have been frozen, and the board is about to vote you out. There's nothing left for you. Your lies have caught up with you." He stammers, trying to find something to say, something to hold on to, but it's too late. No, you can't do this," he says, his voice cracking. "Please don't do this to me. I never meant for any of this to happen." I let out a small laugh, but it's not one of humor. It's a bitter, knowing laugh. You never meant for any of this to happen? Really, James? Then why did you do it? Why lie? Why steal? Why betray everyone who trusted you? His silence speaks louder than any excuse he could give. He's realizing, finally, that there's no way out. There's no saving his company, his reputation, or his life. The walls are closing in on him, and this time, no one is coming to save him. I end the call, and for a moment, I just sit there, letting the weight of it all sink in. It feels surreal, but in the best way possible. This is justice. This is the reckoning he's been running from. In the next few minutes, the world he thought was untouchable will come crashing down. The board will vote. The police will start their investigation. And by the end of the day, James Wilson, the man who thought he was invincible, will be a shadow of who he once was. I smile to myself as I grab my things. I don't need to say anything more. I don't need to lift a finger. The storm has already hit. And this time, I'm not just watching. I'm the one who made it happen. When I step out the door, I'm not walking away from my life anymore. I'm walking toward it. And nothing will ever be the same again. The afternoon passes in a blur, but the weight of it all is still heavy on my chest. Only now, it feels like a weight lifted, rather than a burden to carry. I walk through the house, each room a reminder of what once was. The smell of James's cologne still lingers in the air, the remnants of a life that no longer belongs to either of us. The home we built together, the life we shared, it all feels foreign now. It's as if I'm walking through someone else's story, a story I've long since outgrown. I step into the study, my hands resting on the desk where it all began. The papers are scattered across the surface, documents and evidence I carefully assembled over the months. The truth that I fought so hard to expose is now a reality. James is out. His empire is in ruins. And for the first time, I can breathe again. I pull open the drawer where I keep the final documents. Documents that will set my life on a new course. The divorce papers, the settlement, all signed, all in place. The final remnants of a chapter I'm ready to leave behind. I take a deep breath, and for the first time in a long while, I feel free. It's not just the papers I've signed, the accounts I've frozen, or the investigations that are now in motion. It's something deeper. It's the weight of years of doubt, of feeling powerless, of being trapped in someone else's world. Gone. All of it. Gone. James has no idea how far I've come, how much I've learned, how much I've grown. He thought he could keep me in the dark, thought he could control me with his lies and secrets. But I wasn't the fool he thought I was. I've always been more than just the perfect wife. I've always been someone capable of far more than he ever saw. And now I'm ready to show the world just how much more. I stand up, a new sense of determination settling in. It's time to move forward. Time to take everything I've learned, all the strength I've discovered within myself, and build something that's truly mine. The business, the assets, the control. It's all within my reach now, and I'm not going to let it slip through my fingers. There's a sense of excitement that bubbles up inside me as I think about the future. The endless possibilities. The freedom to make decisions for myself, to build something bigger than I could ever imagine. I've spent so many years living in the shadows, supporting James, standing by his side. But now it's my turn. My turn to step into the light. My turn to create something that will last, something that's mine, built on my own terms. I grab my phone and check the time. It's almost time for the final step. Time to file the divorce papers, to make everything official. But as I do, another notification pops up, and I smile to myself. It's a message from Linda. It's all in motion. The board voted this morning. Everything is set for your takeover. He's out. You're in control. I read the message again, the weight of it sinking in. I'm in control now. Everything I've ever wanted is within my grasp. The power, the security, the freedom, it's mine. All of it. The next step is clear. I'm not just walking away from James. I'm walking toward something better. Toward a future that's built on my own strength, my own vision. I'm not the woman I was before. I'm stronger now, more confident, more driven. I face down betrayal, lies, and deceit, and come out on the other side more powerful than I could have ever imagined. I leave the study and move through the house one last time, taking it all in. The last remnants of a life I'm ready to leave behind. And as I step out into the world, I take a moment to appreciate the journey. It hasn't been easy, but nothing worth having ever is. And as I close the door behind me, I feel the weight of the past slip away. I'm ready for the future now, and I'm not looking back. I've only just begun. In this section, the protagonist's new beginning is filled with empowerment and the promise of a bright future. The weight of the past is finally lifted, and she stands at the threshold of something greater. The emotional journey comes full circle as she moves from the ashes of her previous life to the excitement of the new one, fully in control and ready to take charge. The resolution is not just a closing chapter, but the beginning of her true story. As I sit in my new office, the skyline stretching out before me like a canvas of endless possibility, I can't help but reflect on the journey that brought me here. It feels like a lifetime ago that I stood by, quietly watching the man I loved destroy everything we built. But now, as I look out over the city, I see nothing but opportunity. The past is just that, the past, and I'm ready to leave it all behind. James is out. His name, once synonymous with power and success, now echoes in the halls of a company he can no longer touch. The world he spent years constructing has fallen apart, piece by piece, and he has no one but himself to blame. His mistakes were too great, his ego too inflated to see what was right in front of him. And now, as the dust settles, it's my turn to rise from the ashes of his downfall. The irony isn't lost on me. The man who thought he could control everything, who thought he was untouchable, is now nothing more than a footnote in my story. I've taken back everything he tried to steal from me. My dignity, my independence, my life. The empire he spent years building with lies and deceit is mine now. Not because I wanted it, but because I deserve it. It wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming my power, my worth. James thought I was just the trophy wife, the one who stood by his side while he ran the show. But what he didn't know was that I was always playing the long game. I was always watching, always learning, always waiting for the right moment. And when it came, I was ready. I leaned back in my chair, the weight of everything I've accomplished finally sinking in. The path ahead is clear now. The future is mine to shape. No more waiting for approval. No more living in the shadow of someone else's success. I'm the one holding the pen now. And this story is mine to write. There's a freedom in this moment, a peace that comes with knowing you've finally taken control of your own destiny. James thought he could break me, thought he could destroy everything I worked for. But what he didn't realize is that the more he tore down, the stronger I became. His lies only fueled my fire. His betrayals only sharpened my resolve. As the final chapter of this old life closes, I look toward the horizon with new eyes. The past will always be a part of me, but it no longer defines me. I've become something more than I ever thought I could be. Stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever comes next. I pick up my phone one last time, reading through the messages from my team. Everything is in motion. The plans are set. The future is already unfolding, and I'm at the helm. I smile to myself, knowing that the best is yet to come, because this is just the beginning. And now I get to choose where the story goes. The sun rises over the city, casting a golden hue across the skyline. But it's no longer just the view that takes my breath away. It's the future, the promise of everything I've built and everything I am becoming. The company I now lead is thriving, growing faster than I ever imagined. What started as a small idea, born from the ashes of my past, has blossomed into something far more powerful than I could have dreamed. It's not just a business, it's a movement. When I took control of the company, I didn't just inherit a fortune. I inherited the opportunity to create something meaningful, something that would not only make a profit but change lives. I made a promise to myself that this company would stand for more than just numbers on a balance sheet. It would stand for hope, for healing, and for second chances. One of the first things I did when I took the reins was implement a program dedicated to providing job opportunities for women who had been victims of abuse. I knew how it felt to be trapped, to feel powerless. And I didn't want any woman to go through what I went through, without hope, without a way out. I wanted to create a place where women could find strength again, rebuild their lives, and rediscover their worth. We hired experts to create a training program, offering women skills that would empower them to take control of their futures. It wasn't just about giving them a job. It was about giving them the tools to stand on their own, to find their voices again. The results have been nothing short of extraordinary. Women who walked through our doors with shattered confidence and broken spirits now walk out with pride, ready to take on the world. I watch them blossom, their faces lighting up with the possibility of what lies ahead. I'm proud of the work we do here, but what makes me even prouder is the way it's transforming lives, creating a ripple effect in the world. We've partnered with shelters, advocacy groups, and charities to expand our reach. Together, we've built a network of support that not only provides financial independence, but offers the emotional and psychological support these women so desperately need. There's a particular woman, Sophia, who stands out to me. She came to us a year ago, hesitant, unsure of herself, barely able to make eye contact. She had been in an abusive marriage for over 10 years, isolated, afraid, and broken. When she first joined, she could barely hold a conversation, let alone take on a managerial role. But slowly, surely, we gave her the time, the space, and the resources to heal. Now she's one of our top managers. I can see the change in her every day, and it fills me with an indescribable sense of pride. She's not just a success story. She's proof that transformation is possible, that strength lies within us all, waiting to be awakened. But it wasn't just the women who were finding strength through this company. It was me too. As I built this business, I was building myself up again, piece by piece. I learned to trust, to love myself, to never settle for less than I deserved. The betrayal I once suffered no longer defined me. It was simply a part of my story, a chapter one had closed with grace. I learned that I was capable of so much more than I had ever realized. And as the company flourished, so did my sense of self-worth. Still, there was one thing missing: love. After everything I had been through, I wasn't sure I would ever find it again. I wasn't sure I even wanted to. My heart had been broken in ways I hadn't known were possible, and I couldn't imagine opening myself up to someone else again. But life, as it often does, has a way of surprising you. It was at one of our company's charity events, a gala designed to raise awareness for victims of domestic abuse, that I met him. Thomas. He was there as a sponsor, someone who had been involved in several causes over the years. When we spoke for the first time, it wasn't the usual superficial small talk that I had grown so used to. There was something different about him, something genuine, something that felt real. He wasn't trying to impress me. He was simply present, listening, engaging with me in a way that made me feel seen, truly seen, for the first time in a long while. We talked for hours that night, and by the end of it, I knew he was someone special. He wasn't like the others I had met in the past. He wasn't interested in what I could do for him or what he could gain from being in my life. He saw me as a person, not just the CEO of a successful company. And, for the first time since my world had come crashing down, I allowed myself to feel hope. Our relationship developed slowly at first. I wasn't ready to dive into something that could potentially break me again. But over time, I saw the integrity in Thomas. I saw his compassion, his quiet strength, and his unwavering support for the work I was doing. He respected me, not just for my success, but for my journey, for everything that had led me to this moment. He was the kind of man who encouraged me to continue growing, to continue pushing the boundaries of what I thought was possible. And that's when I realized something that I hadn't known before. Love doesn't have to be a risk. Not when you've found the right person. With him, I didn't feel like I had to guard my heart. I could love freely without fear. For the first time in years, I could imagine a future not just as a businesswoman, but as a woman who was loved, cherished, and cared for. Today, we're building a future together. One that includes not just business success, but a life filled with love, respect, and shared dreams. Thomas supports my mission to empower women, and together, we are expanding the company's outreach. We've launched new programs and partnerships, ensuring that more women are given the tools and opportunities to rebuild their lives. We're not just changing the lives of the women who walk through our doors. We're changing the world. And it's a world I'm proud to be a part of. There are still days when I can't believe how far I've come. From the woman who was once lost, broken, and unsure of her place in the world, to the CEO of a thriving company, the founder of a movement that gives others the chance to stand tall. I've built a life that's full of meaning, full of purpose. And with Thomas by my side, I know that the best is yet to come. I think back to the days when I thought I'd never find happiness again, never find the strength to start over. But here I am, stronger than ever, surrounded by people who believe in me, who lift me up, and who inspire me to keep moving forward. My company, my love, my future. It's all here, and it's all mine. And the best part? I'm just getting started. Because with every woman we help, every life we change, every person who believes in the power of transformation, we are creating a legacy that will last for generations to come. This is just the beginning of something beautiful, and I'm ready to embrace it all. As I sit in my office, looking at the progress we've made, it's hard to believe how far we've come in such a short time. It's been a year since Thomas and I began working side by side, pushing forward with our mission to empower women, to build a future for them that they could never have imagined before. The programs we've launched are growing, the partnerships we've forged are expanding, and we're touching more lives than ever. Our company is more than just a workplace. It's a community, a safe haven where women find not just employment, but a sense of belonging, purpose, and dignity. I watch as these women grow into leaders in their own right, their faces full of hope and determination. I watch as they take on new challenges, knowing that they have the support they need to succeed. It's a beautiful thing to witness. These women are not just employees, they are the heartbeat of what we're building, and they will shape the future just as much as I will. But it's not just about the work we do. It's about the love and respect that we share, the bond that has grown between Thomas and me. Our relationship is rooted in trust, in shared values, in a deep understanding of the strength it takes to rebuild your life. Thomas has become my partner in every sense of the word, not just in business, but in life. We challenge each other, we support each other, and together, we've built something that's much bigger than either of us could have imagined alone. Thomas often tells me how proud he is of the work we're doing, but it's me who's proud of him. He's been my rock, my unwavering support, always reminding me that it's not just about what we've achieved, but about how we've grown as people. He sees the bigger picture. He sees the future we're building, not just for ourselves, but for others. He sees how our work is changing lives, how it's giving women a voice, a seat at the table, and he's just as passionate about it as I am. The best part? We're not done yet. There are still so many women who need us, so many lives that need to be touched. Every day brings new opportunities, new partnerships, new ways we can expand our reach and create even more change. And it's not just about the company. It's about the legacy we're building, one that will outlast us, one that will continue to inspire and empower long after we're gone. I think about the woman I was when this journey began, the broken, lost woman who didn't believe she had the strength to rebuild. I think about how far I've come, not just in business, but in life. I've become someone who knows her worth, who understands that she is worthy of love, respect, and happiness. I've built a life that is full of meaning and purpose, one that is guided by my own values and my desire to make a difference. And with Thomas by my side, I know that the best is yet to come. There are still days when I am amazed at how much we've accomplished. But I also know that this is only the beginning. We've only just started to scratch the surface of what we can do. With every woman we help, every life we change, we're creating a ripple effect that will continue to spread across the world. And it's a ripple that I am proud to be a part of. As I sit here, looking at the city below, I can't help but feel a sense of peace wash over me. This is the life I've worked for, the life I've earned. And I'm not stopping here. There's so much more to do, so many more lives to touch, so many more stories to be written. This is just the beginning of something beautiful, and I'm ready to embrace it all. Every challenge, every victory, every step forward. I'm ready for whatever comes next, knowing that I am strong enough to face it, because I've learned that no matter what happens, I am capable of greatness. And with the love of those around me, with the women we're helping, with Thomas by my side, there's nothing we can't achieve. The future is bright, and together we'll light the way for others to follow. As the days continue to unfold, each one brings with it new growth, new challenges, and new opportunities. There are mornings when I wake up feeling like I'm still dreaming, like I've somehow stepped into a life that I only imagined in the deepest corners of my heart. And then I remind myself that this is real. Every step I've taken, every decision I've made, has led me here, to a life where I can not only create success but help others achieve it too. Thomas and I continue to push boundaries in our work. We've expanded our programs to offer mentorship for young girls in underserved communities, providing them with not just skills, but also the guidance they need to become leaders in their own right. We've launched financial literacy workshops for women who have been victims of financial abuse, ensuring they are equipped to take control of their own futures. We are building an empire, but it's not just any empire. It's one that centers compassion, empathy, and empowerment. The work we do has started to attract attention from major organizations and philanthropists who are eager to invest in our mission. It's not about the money, though, at least not for me. It's about creating a legacy, a movement that will live on long after we've moved on to new ventures. Every donation, every partnership, every word of encouragement from someone who believes in what we're doing is a testament to the power of what we've started. But more than that, it's about the women who come through our doors, some of whom have been broken in ways that most can't even comprehend. They walk in unsure, hesitant, and with no idea of what lies ahead. And then, over time, something magical happens. They start to believe in themselves again. They start to see that they're worthy of success, worthy of love, worthy of a future that's filled with promise. And I get to be a part of that transformation. There is no greater gift than witnessing the moment when someone realizes their own potential. And every day, I am reminded of how fortunate I am to have a role in that. There are times, in quiet moments between meetings and emails, when I look at the women in the office, laughing and collaborating, and I am filled with an overwhelming sense of pride. These women have become more than colleagues. They've become family. We've created an environment where people are encouraged to be their best selves, where vulnerability is celebrated, and where success isn't just measured by profits, but by the lives we've changed. As our company expands, I also realize that I am changing. The woman who once felt broken, who didn't know if she could ever trust again, now stands firm, strong in her convictions and unshakable in her belief that she can change the world. The woman I was then is unrecognizable now. But I hold her close because she made me who I am today. She taught me resilience, strength, and the importance of listening to my own voice. She showed me that I could be a survivor and a creator, and that my past, no matter how painful, was not the end of my story. And as Thomas and I continue to build our lives together, I find myself reflecting on the love we've found in each other. It's not the kind of love I once thought I needed. It's not the whirlwind romance or the fairy tale ending. It's deeper than that. It's a partnership built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared vision for the future. We support each other, challenge each other, and help each other grow. We've created something together that's far more powerful than any business success. It's a life built on love, shared values, and a commitment to bettering the world around us. I think about the future often, imagining all the ways we can continue to grow, the lives we can continue to change. And while I'm proud of everything we've accomplished, I'm not finished yet. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to do, so much more I want to achieve, and so many more people I want to help. I'm not looking back. The past has been my teacher, and I've learned the lessons it had to offer. Now, I'm focused on the future of the women we empower, the future of the company, and the future of my own life. And every day, I'm moving forward with a heart full of gratitude, a mind full of vision, and a spirit that will never stop striving for more. With every life we touch, every story we change, we are building something that will outlast us. A legacy of hope, of empowerment, of transformation. This is a world I'm proud to be a part of, and together Thomas and I will continue to create it, one day at a time, one woman at a time. And when I look back, years from now, I'll know that I gave everything I had to make this world a better place. Because the future is ours to shape, and I'm ready to embrace it all. As I sit in the quiet of my office one late afternoon, the hum of the city below feels like a constant reminder of just how much we've accomplished. The challenges we've faced, the late nights of strategizing, the moments of doubt. It all feels so distant now. The work we're doing, the lives we're touching, the women we're empowering. It's all real and it's all growing. We've built a foundation that's not only solid but thriving. Every day, I look at the incredible people around me, my team, my partners, and I am in awe of what we've created together. Thomas and I have become more than just business partners. We're building a shared vision for the future, one that's focused not just on success, but on making a lasting impact. We've taken this journey hand in hand, learning, growing, and supporting each other. Our relationship has become a reflection of the values we instill in the company, a bond rooted in mutual respect, shared ambition, and an unwavering commitment to each other's growth. It's a partnership that goes beyond love. It's about making the world a better place, and we're doing that together. One of the proudest moments for me has been seeing how far our programs have come. Women who were once unsure of their place in the world are now standing tall, leading teams, starting their own businesses, and changing their families' futures. We've become a beacon of hope for those who had nowhere to turn, a sanctuary where they are not only given the tools to succeed, but the encouragement to believe in themselves again. I think about the women who have passed through our doors, how their stories have touched me, how their triumphs have fueled my own fire. There's a woman named Emily who comes to mind. She joined our company a year ago, broken and lost after escaping an abusive marriage. She barely spoke when she arrived, keeping her head down and her emotions hidden. Now, she's one of our senior managers, and she's leading workshops for new hires, teaching them not just the skills they need, but showing them how to embrace their own power, their own voice. When I see her stand before a room, guiding others, I can't help but feel a sense of pride that I can't fully put into words. But Emily's story isn't unique. It's just one of many. And as I look at the faces of the women around me, I see the transformation in their eyes. The same transformation I once went through, shaking off the fear, the doubt, the past, and stepping into the power of who they were always meant to be. It's a cycle that continues, a ripple effect of empowerment that is spreading far beyond the walls of our company. Our reach is expanding, not just in the communities we serve, but in the partnerships we've forged. Major corporations, government organizations, and nonprofits are beginning to take notice of the work we're doing. They want to be part of this movement, too. Together, we are creating a network of support, education, and opportunity that stretches from the local level to the global stage. We are showing the world that when women are empowered, when they are given the resources and the platform to succeed, the impact is immeasurable. And while I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done, I also know that there's so much more to do. The road ahead is long, but it's full of promise. We're working on new initiatives, expanding into new markets, and finding new ways to reach those who need us most. There are still too many women who feel unheard, unseen, and unsupported. And we're committed to changing that one step at a time. As we continue to grow, I find myself reflecting more on what this journey has meant for me personally. The woman I was at the beginning, broken, unsure, and devastated by betrayal, is now a woman who stands tall, full of purpose and vision. The scars from my past are no longer something I hide. They are a part of who I am. They are the very reason I've been able to create what we have today. They've shaped me, molded me, and given me the strength to fight for what matters. And now, I stand alongside Thomas, creating something that not only supports us but will leave a lasting legacy for generations to come. We're building a future together, not just for ourselves, but for every woman who ever felt lost, invisible, or powerless. We are creating a world where women are empowered to take their place at the table, to speak their truth, and to live the lives they deserve. When I look at the future now, I see endless possibilities. We're just getting started, and yet the impact we've made has already been profound. But I know that the best is yet to come. As we continue to grow, to reach more women, and to push the boundaries of what we can do, I have no doubt that we will continue to change the world. I have built a life that is more than just about business success. It's about purpose, about leaving a mark on this world that will outlive me. And with Thomas by my side, I know we will build that legacy together. One that will inspire others, that will create ripples of change, and that will prove that no matter where you start, no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to rise and make a difference. And as we move forward, side by side, hand in hand, I know that we are only scratching the surface of what's possible. This is just the beginning of a future filled with love, growth, and transformation. The journey continues, and I'm ready for it, heart and soul, because the best part, we're just getting started.